Hello, everyone. My name is Sam Mueller. I'm here sitting together with a number of newly assigned District Apostle helpers today. Joining me now is our District Apostle helper, John Schnabel. So you were assigned as a DAH 10 months ago. What has changed for you since then?
Well, Sam, a lot has actually changed. I have to say it's been extraordinary. Obviously, church has changed, church life has changed, but in particular, it's every weekend now going around the entire United States and the connected countries with the district. And it's been an outstanding experience for me because previously I was very much centered in New York. I grew up in New York, held many ministries there, and so I was a New York-centric person. And we have faithful people there too. But it was nice to kind of see the faith in different places. And that to me has been an open door, even in countries overseas where life is very, very different. And their faith is very, very palatable. So I things have changed beautifully for me. It's been interesting. I'm still between work and now taking this ministry on. So I'm in a little bit in both worlds. But every weekend I get to meet new people with a deep faith and applying it in lives that are specialized.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. You spent over 3 decades in your professional life, as you just talked about. Our task of spreading the gospel in word and deed, even in daily life, can be a challenge. So in your context, how were your experiences, and do you perhaps have any suggestions or tips for us?
Yeah, so in New York, I work in the financial district, not really known for its religiousness or religiosity, I guess maybe is the word, and so I've had to apply my faith in those types of circumstances in a world really where making the almighty dollar is the most important thing. But even in that setting, people are people. And so there are moments where you find an opening and you can share your faith. And sometimes, yeah, you have to be somewhat camouflaged. New York is a little bit of a rough and tumble place, and people don't talk to each other regularly on the subways going to and fro work. But not too long ago, I had a situation where my closest colleague at work passed suddenly, my age, and it really was a difficult time for the firm. And we gathered together as a firm with the family. And the brother came over to me and said, "My brother told me that you're a minister, and we want you to pray here." So in front of those 300 people, and it was really, I thought to myself, I'm completely out of context here with these people. But I said, "Lord, now maybe this is my opportunity to show." And so we did. And it's interesting the kind of comments that you receive afterwards. There were some who avoided me more than ever before. But there were some who said, that was really beautiful, and thank you for sharing and doing that. So the Lord puts us on the spot. We are always going to be called to be the Good Samaritan here and there. And when the Lord gives you your opportunity, I guess there's times I've made my excuses, but that has been something where you have to take it. Take that moment, even if it's completely stepping out, but that's what the Lord's asking you to do.
Our church is developing. It's always developing. So now we have a mixture of older traditions mixed with some of the newer developments, doctrinal developments even. Which good old NAC traditions are particularly close to your heart, and which newer developments make you happy?
Well, actually, I think it's more of a feeling from years ago. Saturday evenings all of a sudden became a holy moment. We were preparing for service. We wouldn't engage in anything else that we would normally engage in during the week, and really everything was focused in on Sunday. Preparation for Sunday school with the children, and everything it wasn't kind of a blur and kind of now in today, it feels in today's society, we don't have enough time. And there was this respect, and maybe sometimes we say, well, maybe there was too much respect. Well, I would say really today, maybe we don't have enough, right? So then you come into services the next day, you were prepared and you were looking forward to it. It's the day of the Lord. If we don't have a day that we can give to the Lord, and it's really just a prescribed amount of time within an overstuffed schedule.
Sure.
So that's what I think it was just the time that we had set aside to be holy, and even if people thought we were fanatical, I miss that.
Oh, we can still have a balance, I think.
I think we can, but you have to fight for it more and more.
For sure. Yeah. So that's some of the older tradition. What about anything new that's making you happy?
Well, I have to say, in the USA district, we have been using for a midweek experience the small group. And these small discussion groups, there could be 6 people, 10 people, talking about something that is spiritual in nature, usually given by the direction of our district apostle. And it's actually been a very interesting effect. It's one thing to be in service, obviously to receive the Word of God and to be together in that fellowship. What's interesting, this is a little bit of a different fellowship. Although you're talking about Jesus Christ and His work, it's different from a divine service in the fact that you are actually initiating it as a soul.
Not just the minister speaking, it's the souls that are there.
That's right. And even as ministers, we have to learn to be a little bit more quiet. And to kind of elicit that out of our members. And there's gold, there's gold in those hills. There's gold in our members because they have lived a life of faith and they have an experience. And when you hear a soul that you have esteem for, how they applied their faith or how their faith got them through something, it all of a sudden makes you kind of think about it. And it does create this relationship within the congregation of a fabric that's a little bit more knit together. Fabric is, in the old days, maybe not today, but you used to take a thread and move it up, move it down, move it up, move it down. And these are these moments that we bring it together. And I can say that those who don't engage in it are missing something. And there are frayed elements. Let's face it, there are parts of the threads at the end of the garment here that are sometimes frayed because we're so put under pressure in today's society. And this time is actually a way to be holy, but also gives you then the impetus to be able to say, oh, I do know about my faith. Oh, maybe I can share this.
Yeah.
And I can share it within a protected group, a small group, but then it also allows you to launch forward and bring the gospel to everyone else.